Devendra Sharma, respond to this. What is special about the farmers of Punjab? Why should they be given special treatment? What about those in Bihar, Assam, West Bengal who get paid much lesser? They don't benefit from MSP in the way that farmers in Punjab and Haryana do. And there are 23 commodities where MSP is already set. What about all the production that happens in non-MSP commodities? They don't, like for example, take milk or poultry or fish. They don't get this kind of advantage, and yet those farmers are actually growing. In those industries, the rate of growth is much more than it is in commodities where you have an MSP. Like rice and paddy, like rice and wheat.
Well, Rahul, this is what I was going to speak when you cut me short. Let me tell you one thing, that when we talk of free markets, and let's take the example of Bihar, when in 2006 we shut down the APMC and so on in Bihar, we were trying to say that this is the harbinger of a new revolution, market-driven agriculture. We know that even today, a lot of produce comes from Bihar and Eastern UP to sell in Punjab and Haryana. Why? Because what they're getting by free markets in Bihar is about 30% or 40% less than what Punjab is paying, or the MSP that Punjab is delivering. So we need to understand that if the Bihar farmers were getting MSP at that rate at which Punjab farmers are getting, we would have seen a kind of a rate of growth in Bihar which would have been unprecedented for a state like Bihar, that we call it as a hub for labor force and so on and so forth. The point I'm trying to make is we must understand that giving a higher income to farmers is the way forward, and I think it will not be a curse on the society or on the economy.
But Devendraji, you're not answering the question. The question was that look at the rate of growth of non-MSP commodities. Take poultry, take milk. There, because of the free market, the rate of growth is much higher than in commodities where you have an MSP like rice or like wheat. And therefore, if left to itself, how is poultry growing so fast? How is fisheries growing so fast? How is milk growing so fast? It's growing because of the fact that these are more lucrative, and we need to move farmers away from growing rice in Punjab because the water tables are receding. So this artificially setting MSPs is actually disastrous. It's disastrous for the environment. It's disastrous for the growth of those farmers because they're not growing either. Farmers who are outside MSP are actually growing better and faster. That's what the data says.
No, it doesn't. You have a school of thought which is free market. I can't help it. You need to understand today the Vice Chancellor of Punjab Agriculture University has in an interview said that farmers need an assured income or an assured MSP for crop diversification. He's saying that. And we need to understand, we can't go on repeating these kinds of, statements being thrown at us that, oh, the world is going to collapse or India is going to collapse. No, on the contrary, Indian agriculture will grow. Now, you talk about, milk and pulses and or fruits and so on. All these things, yes, we need to bring up a kind of a system there also that the farmers get assured prices. We have seen the government brought out a scheme called TOP. Then it turned into grain. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. We know why it is not working, because we leave it to markets. I think what we need is an assured price for the farmers is what I'm saying. We need to understand this rather than, coming up with the fear psychosis that some people are creating. I don't think the country is going to face an economic crisis. I think the economic strength will in fact increase. We are going to see a boom in economic growth when we provide the farmers with a higher economics or higher income. That is what the country needs at this particular juncture. And it can be done not only for cereals or for other agriculture produce, but also for commodities like milk, or for milk already has a better system of procurement. But looking at the fruits and vegetables, we need to have a kind of a system that ensures that the income of those farmers goes up. They don't have to throw it on the streets. That is one thing which I think we need to understand, and bringing MSP
Ashok Gulati,
or providing MSP
respond to this argument.
The only way that it can pull it out.
That agriculture is the one sector where you've got production risks and you've got market risks, and therefore you cannot compare agriculture with any other industry. You can't leave it to the dynamics of the free market. Farmers require some income support, and therefore they require special treatment. So what may be okay for industry or for commerce or some other kind, those principles simply, philosophically and as a society, Devendra Sharma argues, cannot apply to farmers. It would be the wrong thing to do. And therefore, he's making the argument that if the milk business is working so well, then why do we so often have images of milk being poured on the streets by farmers because they don't think they're getting the right price for it? Ashok Gulati.
Yes, two things we have to distinguish. Farmers need an assured income. That's what my friend Devendra Sharma said. Now, there are two ways to get income going and somewhat stable income so that the risk of volatility is reduced. On the production front, you have to increase productivity with sustainability, and for that you have to invest in agriculture, R&D, and irrigation and whatnot. But the discussion today is on the prices. So how much prices you can give if the market, yes, market is volatile, it's not perfect, but will the government start procuring everything if there is a huge surplus? Will the government start procuring, bhindi and tomato, and there are more than 100 commodities? What is so special about these 23 commodities? And Punjab farmers, with all the due respect, actually don't face any risk on the price front because they dump all the paddy and wheat to the government. In fact, the procurement of paddy in Punjab in many years is more than the production of paddy in Punjab. And as Devinder Sharma said, it's all coming from. So if you have to give justice to a larger, community of farmers, you need to put, some risk mitigating measures in eastern UP, Bihar, and others. Now, if they start procuring from there, government will be ending up with 100 million tons of rice procurement, and then you give them free. Look at the financial implications of that. Even just this wheat and rice, two commodities, 2,12,000 crores is the food subsidy. Now, you want to sell everything free, and then you want to procure, and this is only two commodities in 5-6 states. If you open up for 23 commodities, and why for only 23, go for 100, then you see the consequences on the fisc.